Hello YouTube, so the time has finally come. It's time for me to talk about Shyamalan movie. Now for those who don't know about Shyamalan, he was once called the next Steven Spielberg. Yeah, really, the next Steven Spielberg. I'm not making that up, look. So that was after his first 3 movies. Then after that, people started calling him a really bad director, having really expectable twists, and not really being all that great of a movie maker. Until The Visit came out, in which case people said, hey, he's back, he's good again. I don't know. Just we're going back and forth. But pretty much that's not what we're going to be talking about today. I just want to give a little bit of a brief sum up of this guy, seeing as, yeah, he's made some pretty bad movies, but today we're going to look at one of his good movies. His very first, The Sixth Sense. So let's look into it. Alright, so just a quick warning. There will be spoilers in this video, but I'm going to do something a bit different than what I normally do when there are spoilers, and wait until after I've talked about the story. Because this movie you really should watch unspoiled. Because if you watch it with the spoiler in mind, then yeah, that's going to ruin your experience a little bit. So I really don't want to try and spoil anything for anyone. So I am going to try and not talk about it until after I finish discussing the story and everything, in which case then I'll talk about the spoilers. So yeah, with that, let's start talking about it. You've been warned if you haven't seen it. In which case, why haven't you seen it yet? It's been out for a while. So, this movie starts off with a very exciting shot of a light bulb. What? Yeah, this movie starts off with a light bulb. I really have no idea why. This light bulb plays no part. It's not even spelling out anything in Morse code or something. It's just a light bulb. Which apparently was so important that he put it at the opening of the movie and also on the play menu. Yeah, I can't really see the beginning of the movie, but the play menu? Did he really do that? Really, what the heck is the point of that? The light bulb. I wouldn't be harping on this so much if it didn't get so much attention for some reason. Like, even if you look up the light bulb from The Sixth Sense on Google, you'll get photos of it. Why? What's the point of this light bulb? I really don't get it. It's a light bulb. What significance does it have? I wouldn't be harping on this so much if it wasn't the first thing that you see when you open up the DVD menu. Maybe they show like that balloon or something, then that would make sense at least, but a light bulb? Why? You open up the movie with this too, and it's the very first thing that you see on the DVD when you get into the main menu, so why? Why is it the first thing? What's the deal with this light bulb being the first thing that you see? I really don't get it. Though, granted, right after that is some candles, so maybe, and we all know what significance those had on the plot, so I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to, maybe Shyamalan just wanted to throw random things into the main menu, I don't know. So, after that we meet up with Malcolm, one of the main characters, with his wife Anna, who are getting drunk in celebration for Malcolm receiving a medal for being one of the best child psychiatrists. So, yeah, I guess the obvious conclusion was just go get drunk and plan on having sex. Why was this prompted by getting a medal? So, then they go upstairs to get to having sex, But then we see one of the best child psychiatrists, failed patients, just standing around in their bathroom in his underwear with a gun. Yeah, I know I've said this a lot, but Malcolm's the best. So, one thing I do have to say about this character, though, the failed patient, whose name is Vincent Gray, by the way, he is played by Donnie Wahlberg. And one thing that's really interesting about this is that this character only has this scene in the movie, yet the actor who played him lost 43 pounds for the role. That is so much more than he needed to do, but it just shows how dedicated to this movie he was. And I just really wanted to bring that up because that was just a neat little thing. Even Shyamalan said he only had to lose like 5 pounds, but no, he went the extra mile and lost 43. Just that dedication. I just wanted to bring that up. So, yeah, this character decides the only logical conclusion after being failed by one child psychiatrist and now not really being the best adult, he decides, well, the best thing to do for him is shooting Malcolm and then shooting himself. Logical conclusion. So then a year later, just nothing important happened in between that time. We see that Malcolm has apparently gone back to not being the best psychiatrist because of one failed patient. So now what is he doing? He's going to go meet with Cole, who has the exact same problems as Vincent did. Someone's desperate for redemption, aren't they? So he meets up with Cole, who is hanging out in a chapel, playing with toy soldiers and speaking in Latin. Completely normal childhood activities. So we eventually do find out, though, that Cole does seem to have a secret. He can see dead people. That's really where every single one of his childhood problems have come from, him seeing dead people. I guess that would cause for an excuse at times, but really? You would think that he would just try and live with it or something, but nope, it's caused every single problem in his life. Okay. So eventually we do see, though, that Cole and Malcolm do eventually start to get a bond going, as he is helping Cole a bit more, but it's apparently interfering with Malcolm and his wife's interactions, and he decides to break the whole entire teaching thing off and helping him. And then Malcolm listens to a tape recorder, which he hears some guy talking in the background of, and immediately believes Cole's story about seeing ghosts, because I guess hearing a voice in a tape recorder is all that he needed. No one could have just gone into a room and then made some voices in a tape recorder. Nope, you just need to listen to one of Vincent's old lessons, and that's all he needed. I guess that Malcolm was just wasting some tape space on him leaving the room instead of just stopping the tape for a little bit and then playing it when he gets back in, like what most psychiatrists would do. So then we eventually do see Malcolm come back. What a shock. And yeah, they pretty much decide, okay, Cole, you're going to be the Ghost Whisperer. Yep, just like that. He just says, hey, have you ever tried talking to the ghosts? Nope. Well, why don't you try doing that? Okay. And it works. One thing I want to bring up here is that these ghosts can very, very much interact with the physical world. They can knock on doors, and they can even scratch people. So they can injure people. What if one of these ghosts is like a psychotic killer, and Cole starts talking to it about its feelings, and it just doesn't listen to him and just kills him? Yeah, this might not have been the smartest decision for you there, Malcolm. But I guess every single ghost that Cole comes in contact with is a good guy, so I guess he got lucky. So now Cole is pretty much a childhood psychiatrist for ghosts. Don't know why, he just is. Guess that's the only way he can deal with seeing ghosts. And Malcolm eventually does leave as Cole doesn't need him anymore. So that's all I'm gonna give away without giving any spoilers. So, sum this up, it's a pretty good movie. The story does really help it though. They do have a lot of nice little details put in. Like, one thing I do want to bring up is that everything that is a brightish red, kind of like my shirt color, is apparently supposed to have some sort of spiritual interaction. That's one thing that you learn in the bonus features, and if you rewatch the movie with that in mind, it's really neat to see the little details and where it's being put in. So I do like that little touch, and there are a lot of nice little subtle things in it. That and the acting is pretty good, and you do really understand the situation that the characters have been put in. And so yeah, pretty much for the story, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's really well done, though granted some of the acting moments are kind of wooden, and there are of course some moments that you can really see where Shyamalan put his stamp on it. But outside that, the story is done pretty well. So after that, now I am going to talk about the spoilers. So if you haven't seen that, spoiler alert. Alright, so the spoilers start coming in after Malcolm goes home and leaves Cole because now everything with him is done. And he has now helped out Cole, making him feel a sense of redemption. So now going home, he's gotta fill his wife in on it, I guess, when he sees that she's asleep and watching videos of Malcolm and her getting married. And yeah, she does this a lot in the movie for some reason. So I guess it's the only footage that she has of him. And then we get a big reveal. She had Malcolm's wedding ring. Dun dun dun! And seeing that she has his wedding ring and he's not wearing it anymore, that for some odd reason gets him to make another dramatic reveal. This one's slightly more important. Oh god.
Da da da.
Okay, so yeah. Now we've been meted with a sad truth that apparently Malcolm never made it out of his room that one night, and he has been dead this whole entire time. We've been following a ghost the whole movie, and I gotta say, it's really well done. So, yeah, okay. After he finds out that he's a ghost and everything, he decides to talk to his wife one last time because he can talk to her in her sleep. And then he just sort of leaves with a light, and then that's it. Dramatic finish. So, yeah. What is there to say about this twist, really? It's really well done. I just gotta say, it is really well done. For the twist in this movie, it is just great. They build it up really well, and the way that you watch it, now, okay, the way to watch it is just done great, and when it unfolds, then it really does catch you off guard. So, one thing I want to bring up with this movie is that it is definitely made for watching it twice. What I mean by this is that you can watch it 2 times and get a completely different experience. So, this twist is really what makes that. Like, say for example, the dinner scene where Malcolm and his wife are celebrating their anniversary. Now, this scene is really well set up by showing that the chair even was already slided out. So, yeah, when Malcolm enters the room, he just sits right down. So no one would even notice a chair moving. They thought of that little detail. I really do like how they do that. And when he goes for the check, he of course never gets it. There's no interaction. And I really do love how they do this. So there are tons of little details like that all throughout this movie. And now there is one thing that you might be wondering, well, how did he not notice that he was a ghost? Well, frankly, I don't really have an explanation for that. Because, I mean, really, his wife was going out for his funeral and stuff. Did he never notice that? Did he never notice any of the doctors saying time of death this time? Or did he only become a ghost after his casket was put into the ground? I mean, really, I don't get this. Like, there needs to be an explanation for this to me, because how has he not noticed that he's been dead? There has been a funeral and everything, and I mean, granted, okay, they do give an explanation as to why he never heard his wife mention it at any point, and seeing that she would definitely bring that up with at least some of her friends, and that he's very disattached from her now. And yeah, okay, that makes sense, but, or at least that's how he sees it. Well, in reality, he's dead. But how did he never see the funeral, or her leaving the home, or her leaving the whole entire doctor's office without even acknowledging that he existed, or being thankful that he was alive or something? No, that's never brought up. Or did he never see the police investigation? Yeah, there had to be a police investigation on this, but nope, never happened, I guess. I guess there were just no police in this town, and instead they just, left the bed and everything in there and just said, okay, well, we got a dead body here of Vincent, so take him out to the morgue and everything's done here. I mean, okay, it wouldn't need that deep of an investigation, but there would at least be some tape around the bed showing where his dead body was. Did he never notice that? Really, I have a lot of questions as to how this twist was managed to work. But anyway, outside of that little detail, it is still a really well done twist. Again, they use the color red very prominently with this twist as well. Like, pretty much stuff that has a spiritual touch, spiritual influence on it would change the color red. Now, for one example with this is the door that leads down to the cellar where that light bulb is, which still has no freaking clue how it works. I really don't know. Really? What was the point of that? I'm still wondering. But anyway, he was trying to get down to that basement the whole entire movie, but could never open up the door. And one nice little thing, you see that the doorknob is red. I really like that little touch. There is also a bookcase in front of it, and this has been made evident as to why he could never open it up, is because, like Cole said before, ghosts only see what they want to see. So why, after finding out that ghosts exist, he never saw the ghost even though he wanted to? I don't know. Did he just not want it hard enough? But anyway, outside of that, it is still a really well done twist, and it does sort of bump up my score for the story to a 9. So, yeah, I really do like the way this twist was done, and it was handled very well. It feels kind of like the Jacob's Ladder twist, where there are very well hidden clues to it, and if you watch it again, it does, you can definitely see areas that are really well made and well crafted for the twist and for first time viewings. So I really do like that they took into acknowledgement that this is a movie that you can see twice, and when you watch it for the second time, then scenes that you thought nothing really of before have a completely different meaning, and I love how they can do that. So, yeah, there are little things like that that I really do like. So, with that, let's get into the characters. So, starting off our characters, we are of course going to start by talking about the main one, Malcolm. And I gotta say, even outside of his twists, which is again so very well done, I will say that he does still have a very good personality and he is very likable. You can sort of see how he got into the situation of being a failed about being a failed psychologist now because of this incident, and you can also see how that's caused some detachment with his wife, or at least from his point of view. And I do still very much enjoy the twist that they gave him at the end, but again, if you guys haven't seen it, then I won't give it away. And I really just gotta say that he is very well acted as well by Bruce Willis. Of course, you can't really go wrong. So yeah, I do really enjoy this character. So after him, we then have Cole, who I gotta say is one of the best child actors out there. He's played by um, Haley Joel Osment, and I gotta say he did great. He really did. Um, just for being a child actor and being able to carry this role so well. And this is a really complex role, and he needed to be able to carry it. That's why I really don't get why they didn't write this role with someone else older in mind. But you know what? It doesn't matter because they got the perfect kid to play it. Haley Joel Osment did really put his all into this role, and he really does sort of embody this character. He was just the perfect fit for it, and the way that he portrayed the character, who, of course, after having seen ghosts his whole life, is a bit reclusive. It does make sense in how he portrays him, and I think that the writing, along with his performance, really does help carry this character. So then, after him, we have Cole's mother, Lynn. And she's really well done too. They got another actress who does fit the role very well, and you can see where she's coming from. She's a single mother, working a few jobs and trying to take care of her kid, who also has a lot of issues going on. So it makes sense where she's coming from and why she would snap at times. Granted, sometimes when she snaps, it does feel kind of out of character to me. Or at least that's just how I view it. It just feels kind of out of character. But it does still make complete sense. So I do like Lynn's character, and she is also very likable. Then after her, we have Anne, who honestly to me is kind of the least necessary character in this movie. I mean, granted, okay, she does have a point. It's just really doesn't feel like she accomplished that much with her presence. The actress plays her fine. It's just, I don't know. I just never really cared about this character that much, and yeah, she's not written in any real particular way that makes her stand out. So, to me, she's okay. I just kind of wish that there was a little bit more time to get to know her and how she dealt with this death. Although, for the point that she does play in the ending, I do think that she was a prominent character and you do need her for this movie to work. I just wish that she had been executed a bit better. Granted, the actress plays her fine. It's just there wasn't that much time that you get to know her or anything special about her that really makes her that different. So then after her, we have Vincent Gray, who, again, the only reason that I'm talking about this character is because of how Donnie Wahlberg, whatever, I can't pronounce his last name for some reason, just because of the way that he played him. Now, this character is pretty much the version of Cole that has been failed. And even into adulthood, for whatever reason, on this one night, he just decides, hey, I'm gonna come in because you got a medal, I guess. And I guess the idea that this guy got a medal and is moving on with his life is just destroying this one guy. So he decides to, of course, shoot him. And this is a very important moment, and with the one scene that this character has, there's a lot to him. You can already get his backstory and everything. So I really do like the way that this character was written. And you can really feel a sense that he put his all into this role. Even by the fact that he lost 43 pounds, I still need to bring that up. That's such dedication to the role. I really do admire that. And just like actors putting their all into it, to me, that happens a lot in this movie. And this one is just one of the great ones because he was only there for one scene, yet he was so important and he had so much attitude, he had so much character put into this one scene. I think they really did do good with this character. And then after him, we had the most important character, the dog. It's a husky. That is all. Very important that I brought that up. Okay, but there is one more character though, Anna's boyfriend, or maybe her new husband, I don't know. They don't really say. But pretty much she did start dating after this, even though she's clearly not over her husband yet. But yeah, she started dating some more because I guess that was a good idea at the time. And he's nice, I guess. They don't even really bring up his name, or at least I don't remember what it was. So for the few scenes that he gets, he's nice. I'll give him that. So for the characters, I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10. They're really well written, and again, even with the fewest little things that they do in this movie, even if they do have minor roles, they do still have good character behind them. Starring Stanley as a main example, I do like how they brought him back at one point, and he does try and be nicer to Cole. And it's little things like that that I really do love, and how they put that much time into these characters. So yeah, I really do like that. Granted, some of the acting at times does feel kind of wooden, but it does make sense within this movie, and you can see why they did it. So yeah, I really do like how they did these characters. So what do I think of the movie overall? Well, it's really good. I just gotta say that it is really good. The twist for one is very well done, and again, not giving it away. So yeah, that twist is really well done, but even with that twist, it has a great rewatch value. I highly recommend that you rewatch this movie at least once, because if you do, then you will definitely get a different experience. And I do like how this movie does that, and it purposely does that. It's not like a movie that you just watch once and say, hey, that was a good movie or something, or that was a bad movie, and then you watch it again and you're just like, oh, that was a bad movie, or that was a good movie or something. No, this one was made for rewatch value, and that is definitely something that you should do. Like, I think that after I first watched this movie, I watched it again the next day. That's honestly how fast I wanted to see what happened with this, and how the rewatch value accounts for it. And keep in mind, I watched this movie at midnight the first time I watched it, so watching it the next day isn't really saying much. So yeah, I really watched this movie very fast after I first watched it, and if you can get invested in the story and characters, which, given how they're written and how they're executed, then you definitely can, then go rewatch it. It's really worth it. So, for this movie, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It was really well done with some great scenes, and I really do think that it has a lot of little details, which are things I just love seeing in movies. They're riddled through this thing, and there are nice little moments in it, and there's some really good acting. So, yeah, 9 out of 10. I think they did really good on this one. granted, that's probably why M. Night Shyamalan has some bad movies. He's been trying to recapture the beauty in this one. And granted, with Unbreakable he did. So that's something. And so that's pretty much it. And next week, you know, I'm gonna save for what I'm doing next week. So, yeah, next week is going to be my 50th review. Bye. So, now that you're done with your review, you're ready to move on, right? What are you talking about? When this happens, look lower on your shirt, you'll see what I mean. Okay. Don't really see how this will help, but okay. This might be nothing, right? Like, this could just be a flesh wound. I didn't die. What are you talking about? Yes, you did. In your Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. vlog, you were shot, and now you're dead. But that reaction, it was so fake. I didn't die. If I had died, I would have more of a legit reaction to that. And I was talking at the end. How would I have died if I was doing all that? Those memories were just fabricated. It was just your ghostly brain trying to think of an explanation of what happened at the end of that. In real life, you were just killed instantly. And you talking at the end was just your head trying to think of a way to cope with the fact that you died. Just look at the rest of your shirt. It's red now. Spiritual interaction. But this isn't even the same shirt. Who cares if it's not the same shirt? It's close enough. I don't really think that you're gonna be worrying about your fashionable appearances when you're dead, which you are. Come to grips with that and then we can leave. I died. But there are just so many things about this that don't make any sense. I mean, how did I not notice any of that? How? Just how? How did I not even notice getting taken to the hospital or anything? If that even happened. Did it? No, it didn't. Like I said before, you died instantly. Your parents were actually smart and checked for a pulse. So, yeah, your body was just put in the morgue. Still under further investigation right now as to why you were killed. Nobody really gets why. Then the reason that you don't remember any of this is because right after you were put in the morgue, your ghost came out, and then you came back to the place where you died. That's how all this works. You'd think that someone would know about this. So I really did die? Yes, what's hard to get about this? Did they ever at least find out who shot me? Nope, the shooter got away before the police could even get here. How convenient. Really? No fingerprints or anything? Nope, all they managed to get was this. This was all they were able to find? Yep. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go now. Just let me say one more thing before I go. Really? Thank God. It's about time. I've been waiting here for 4 days. Well, yeah, sure, you can say something, I guess. Whatever, I don't care. Just get on with it fast. Been stuck here 4 just want to say, guys, if you're even there or not, thing is, I'm apparently been dead this whole time. I don't know. I just want to say, it's been an experience. One that I didn't know was apparently fatal, but an experience nonetheless. So, yeah, I don't even know if you guys are here to watch this at the end. I don't know how many people actually watch the end of my videos, but for those who do, bye.